Hold your Samsung phone in your hand and get ready for the ultimate comparison between the S24 Ultra and S23 Ultra. We've got all the details covered, the zoom camera battle, and comparing these two flagships across all categories: display, battery, performance, and design. By the end, you'll know if it's worth upgrading or if sticking with the S23 Ultra is fine. So without wasting time, let's begin. But please make sure to hit subscribe button and notification bell. The design. First of all, let's talk about the design of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra compared to its predecessor. These two phones look nearly identical, both sporting 6.8-inch displays, quad camera setups on the back, and hole-punch front cameras. However, Samsung has implemented some subtle yet significant alterations with the S24 Ultra. The shifting from the aluminum frame of the S23 Ultra to a stronger titanium frame for the S24 Ultra, which makes the phone feel lighter in your hand. And even with the more durable build, the newer phone is actually a very light-weighted, having 8.22 ounces to its predecessor. Another notable change is the shift to a completely flat display, departing from the curved edges of previous models. Samsung claims this change improves S Pen support by reducing the chances of the pen slipping off the sides as easily. Samsung also made the bezel smaller, especially at the bottom, so the screen takes up more space on the front. Overall, while the designs are similar, the S24 Ultra has some small but impactful updates like the lighter titanium build, flat display, and smaller bezels. Plus, the new colors are more vibrant, so the S24 Ultra wins here, but not by much. Camera. Now let's move toward very interesting and important change. The camera department of the S24 Ultra. Samsung decided to replace the 10x optical zoom camera from the S23 Ultra with a 5x optical zoom camera in the new phone. Initially, this seems like a downgrade, but Samsung compensates by using a larger sensor and higher megapixel count along with some software processing tricks to make up for the reduced optical reach. After extensive testing, we found that overall, for most people and situations, the S24 Ultra is actually as good, if not slightly better, than the S23 Ultra camera. However, there are still scenarios where you'll miss having the full 10x optical zoom instead of being capped at 5x. When using the main cameras, there's very little difference in photo quality, since they both use the same 200 megapixel sensor. However, in portrait mode, the S24 Ultra excels, producing more natural skin tones and a more dramatic background blur effect. Low-light photos are similar between the two models, with the S24 Ultra offering marginally brighter images due to its larger sensor. Now, onto the controversial telephoto zoom cameras. At mid-range zooms up to 10x, the S24 Ultra performs admirably using its 5x optical lens and AI algorithms to compensate for the lower optical range. However, beyond 10x zoom, the limitations of the 5x optical camera become apparent, with shots at 30x or 100x lacking the clarity and detail of the S23 Ultra's 10x optical camera. It's essential to note this limitation for serious zoom shooters. The S23 Ultra may still be a better choice for ultra-long-range compositions. Regarding videos, both phones produce extremely clean footage, with impressive stabilization even at high zoom levels. However, the S24 Ultra introduces AI-powered software features for editing and enhancing photos and videos after capture, offering additional flexibility and creative options not found in the S23 Ultra. In summary, while the primary cameras are very similar between the two phones, the S24 Ultra gains a slight edge due to its brighter sensor and useful AI editing features. However, the reduced maximum zoom power may disappoint serious zoom enthusiasts. For casual photographers, though, the S24 Ultra offers a compelling package, even if it can't entirely replace a dedicated telephoto lens. Now display. Shifting our focus to the display, we observe nearly identical specs between the S23 and S24 Ultra. Both feature a 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED panel with a variable 120 Hz refresh rate, making them evenly matched on paper. However, when we conducted measurements using our colorimeter and brightness meter, we noted slightly better performance from the newer S24 Ultra. It reached a peak brightness of over 1365 nits, whereas the S23 Ultra topped out at 1225 nits. Additionally, the S24 Ultra showcased superior color accuracy with an outstanding 0.25 delta E score, which is very close to perfect. In terms of actual content, when comparing videos side by side, we could hardly discern any difference. Both phones exhibit deep blacks, vibrant colors, and stellar high dynamic range content. While Samsung utilized the same display panel, it appears that their latest image processing technology grants a slight victory to the S24 Ultra. However, this difference is not substantial during normal use. One notable advantage that more users may appreciate is the brighter screen of the S24 Ultra, particularly useful for outdoor use with its over 1300 nits peak brightness. Nonetheless, both phones boast phenomenal displays overall, with the S24 Ultra edging ahead by a small margin in terms of numerical performance. Moving on to performance, the S24 Ultra is equipped with the latest Qualcomm silicon, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, while the S23 Ultra runs on the previous generation Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. On paper, that gives a specs advantage to the newer phone. And in benchmarks, we do see a decent jump up in both processing and graphics power for the S24 Ultra. It scored around 20% higher in multi-core CPU performance tests, and an even bigger leap of over 40% faster graphics rendering compared to the S23 Ultra. Battery life. Next up, super important battery life. Now, oddly enough, Samsung decided to maintain the same 5,000 mAh battery capacity in both the S23 and S24 Ultra flagship phones, which may seem odd. Many users might have expected to see an increase in battery size with the newer model. However, thanks again to the efficiencies of the newer Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, the S24 Ultra posts a good 16+ hours in our custom battery life test, compared to just over 13 hours for the S23 Ultra. Software and special features. In terms of software and features, both phones run on One UI 6.1 over Android 14, providing a smooth experience. Samsung promises 7 years of software support for the S24 Ultra, ensuring longevity. Key features include seamless Windows device connectivity, the S Pen for multitasking, and Samsung DeX mode for desktop-style use. However, the S24 Ultra stands out with exclusive Galaxy AI features, offering productivity enhancements and camera improvements through machine learning. And that wraps up our comparison between the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the S23 Ultra. We have provided a comprehensive overview of all the important aspects, helping you make an informed decision about whether upgrading is worthwhile. Now it's your turn to decide which one takes your interest. Share your thoughts on which one you believe deserves the crown. Thanks for watching.